Okay, I'm going to quickly try and give an overview of the turmeric curcumin problem. This is supposed to be organic turmeric powder. And my question is, if there is anti-rooting powder on those corms, on the turmeric roots. Turmeric is supposed to be beneficial to the gut. So if there are toxins, the root itself can be grown organically, but if there are toxins, toxic anti-rooting powder put on the corms, on the roots, after they're harvested, then they're not organic. So I'm going to go back to the roots that I had made a video about and that I have worked on. And so this is my example of the ginger that is not covered in any kind of anti-rooting powder, and they are always, the ginger will never fail. You won't have this disgusting dark black, they root like they're even rooting in the shop before you buy them. This is a problem. This was bought in an organic store as organic turmeric. I have in the past had it that it was organic, in other words not covered with anti-rooting powder, but this year, let's say April, May and June 2018, they're for sure covered in that toxin. And the evidence is, let me find that dirty black stuff. I'm going to have to scrape this off with a knife, but this root, this growth, is the plant having to make an effort to sprout. Now what I did was, since I made the last video that you'll have seen before this one, what I did was I washed these roots. In other words, I washed them under running water, and the way to get that dark stuff off is a sponge. Use the soft part of the sponge, and you have to do it again and again. If you root the way I'm doing it, if you put them in the ground already, yeah, I don't know, but then the turmeric that you get out of that planted root, the turmeric you grow will be organic, but the stuff you put into the ground, if it's like this, won't. And so what I did was I improved the sprouting rate by washing with the sponge, and I've done it, I've wiped that stuff off over 6 days to get this result. Then I had one more recently bought that I wanted to test, and I thought, okay, right, this is 2 months later, and this also is covered in anti-rooting powder because after a few weeks it's not rooting. So this was simply soaked in water, and this is the same root bought on the same day from the same batch that is rooting, and I'll tell you why. I soaked this in water with some soda bicarbonate and vinegar. That 100% vinegar poured into sodium bicarbonate water and soaked for 10 minutes. I took it out, and then I washed it with that sponge. And I've continued to wash the roots and sort of wipe off that toxic substance, the anti-rooting powder, and I've done that over now 4 or 5 days. And here it's resulting in the roots are sprouting, and that proves that it is. I mean, I know that stuff because it just turns black. And this is how it turns. It turns absolutely black when you soak. So if you want to know if your turmeric roots are covered in that toxic substance, then soak them and you'll find out. But this is the untreated. I didn't soak this in vinegar and soda bicarbonate and I haven't cleaned it. And you can see the dark stuff, because I didn't wipe it out, it's starting to form. And I'm not sure if it's a kind of fungus, it's a chemical fungus, whatever it is, but it's to suppress the rooting of the corms. Now this is organic, grown turmeric. So they can call it organic, they can say, yeah, the turmeric is organic. What they don't tell you is that the roots have been covered with anti-rooting powder, and that's toxic. And so then you go to the turmeric that you use, that you get and you pay a lot of money for, organic turmeric powder, and is someone going to analyse it to find out, is that stuff, is that toxin in there? Because a lot of people in the world use this, and I do too, for the health of the body, for the gut, stomach. For thousands of years, curcumin, turmeric, has been used for the health of the human. And I can test this out, I can test the roots out and find out if the sprouting is being suppressed. Now if it's not being suppressed, they sprout like crazy, like my ginger. They will sprout like this. If they have that powder on, you'll see that black stuff forming, or you'll see absolute suppression of the growth, and then you'll see the plants doing like this. They'll do absolutely supernatural boost. They'll do anything they can to get sprouting, because that is their nature. That's why the plant is so amazing and so strong. But what I'm saying is, I can test the root and find out. But you need a laboratory if you want to test out if your organic turmeric powder is pure.